everybody, it is Tuesday in the afternoon and I'm going to make some bath bombs. So today I'm going to make some beautiful bath bombs in the shape of macaroons. Now I could never find a macaroon big enough, so I actually found these little kitty toys. It was, like I said, you know, a little kitty toy in there, and basically I've just washed them all out, and I did do a video some time ago using them. So we're going to make some beautiful it's going to be a very floral, you know, light floral with a bit of a cottony linen sort of scent in it as well. And we're going to put a tiny little bit, not much, just a tiny bit of some beautiful dried flowers, which I have in here as well, and the gorgeous scent. So today we're not using sweet almond oil because a lot of people have said they're allergic to that. So this one is going to be a bit different with coconut oil instead. So I'm going to teach you how to do this because we're going to do a 2-color mix. So we're going to start with the first mix and then we will go to the second. The easiest way to do this is literally have all of your powders already in the bowls, and then secondly we are going to go to having all of the oils. So let's measure up the oils and get going. Now, the best advice I can give everyone is when you're doing a two-tone one like this, especially with my recipe, it does start to dry quite fast. So basically what I always do is have all the powders in both of them, and then I've already got the liquids. You can see here they're already measured out. So this is going to be for the big one, and I've done the other one to the side. So we're going to work on the blue one because this is the biggest amount. So literally we're just going to put this on the scale. We're going to tear it out, and in here I've already got all my bicarb, but we actually need some other dry ingredients. So let's just add that in. So we'll just put the sifter back on this one because I have already measured out the other ones. So now in here, let me get my trusty little list. We do already have 1,000 grams of bicarbonate soda in here. So now we want to add 70 grams, and of course I'm measuring it here. So we're going to have 70 grams of kaolin clay. This is also going to help with the hardening as well, so that one's all good. Let's just do this. To always sift everything, all the dry ingredients. If you don't sift them, they'll go hard and messy. You really want to sift them. So now we do have that one. We are going to have the cream of tartar in. Now the cream of tartar is also going to make this hard. So let's just tear out the scale on this cream of tartar. We're also going to put 70 grams of this in here. So we will just put the lid on. You can add less kaolin clay if you want. All these little bits, just throw them out. So now we do have all of the ingredients in here. The only thing that we have not added in, and we'll add that later, is the citric acid. I do have these ones inside here, but usually I buy them in a 20-kilo bag, but I've absolutely run out. I've ordered, but once I order I need to wait a few days for them to get the order together and organize that for me. I've ordered 40 kilos, but at this stage I'm just going to use those ones so I can show everyone what we're doing. This is a very expensive way. It's about 10 times the cost of wholesale. So but you know, if you just want to make something, you know, that's fine. It just means your profit's going to be a lot less, obviously. So like I said, we've got all the ingredients in here. We're literally, the way I do this, it's nice and simple. We're literally just going to add all of their oils directly in here, and we're just going to put it on the KitchenAid. So let's just turn the camera around. I'll show you. I'll tell you also what I'm putting in this, just so that you know the other ingredients as well. All right, so we are ready. We have all the dry ingredients in here. Now let's just add these beautiful oils that I've already combined into here. I will tell you what all the oils are. Let's just, like I said, put them in. This is the easiest way. I mean, there's lots of other things you can do, but obviously don't put the citric acid, because if you put the citric acid, it's going to start to activate, because I do have some witch hazel in this, which is a plant-based, but obviously plants suck up the water from the earth, so it does have a water content. So we have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I'm using a liquid coconut premium oil in this one here, so that we don't actually have the sweet almond, because some people are allergic to that. Then I do also have 2 tablespoons of jojoba oil. You can change that to another carrier if you want, but the jojoba oil really does make it beautiful in the bath. 1 tablespoon of witch hazel, so just put that in so that way we don't have to spritz. And so we've got all of that in here. Then we're going to do 1.5 tablespoons of polysorbate 80. That's going to help everything so that it's going to be beautiful, because we want that to help this. Otherwise, if you don't put that in, the oil will slick on top of the bath, and then that becomes slippery. I've also added in 1 tablespoon of SLSA. You can leave that out. You don't need to add that in. And then, of course, your fragrance oil. I have, in this one here, I have 70 grams of fragrance oil, but I can have that one at that amount because it depends on the fragrance oil, but they're all different. So anyway, let's just turn this on now. I've got all that in there. Let me just turn it on, and I'm going to just put it on slow until it's combined, then we'll mix it. Now, while that's doing that, we're going to go over and do the other side. So I'm going to move the microphone over, and I hope it's not going to be too noisy. You can see inside the bowl, this is going to be the middle of our little mix. I put a tiny little bit of teal in it so that this little bit will be a tealy kind of color. And now we will go and put the citric acid in our main one. So you can see that it's all still going, and now I'm just going to literally put in the citric acid into here. So in here I'm going to add 450 grams of citric acid. This is pretty fine citric acid. Usually I would say make sure you go and put this through the sifter, but this one's very fine, so it's okay today because I did, as we know, we established at the start, I've already bought the expensive citric acid containers because I've actually ran out. So we'll put another one. There's 150 in each of these, so that's what equals the 450. Alright, so we're going to let this keep going. I'll add one more in and then we will start to press. So we are here and ready. So here is my beautiful blue one, and if you hold it in your hand you can see it's firming up, so we know that's pretty good. And then we have the inner part here. If you hold it in your hand, it's pretty good as well. Let me just double check. I might just put a little bit more witch hazel in this one. You know, making bath bombs, everyone, is one of those things. It's a fine balancing act of too much witch hazel, not enough. You know, do we add more cream of tartar? And sometimes you can add a tiny bit. I'm going to just add a little bit more. I'm just going to squish it in my hand so I don't have to sift it a little bit better, just to make sure, because we definitely do not want this messing up our bath bomb. It would be tragic if the middle part was the bit that isn't mixing. And you can see it's a little bit better, I think. So anyway, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think it's good, and sometimes we need to just try and not keep touching, so to speak. So anyway, like I said, we've got everything in here. So all I'm going to do literally is, you know, just lightly, don't kind of force it. And like once we put the white in, that will press that down, because you can see already. But anyway, we're just, like I said, we're going to roughly put that in there. Roughly put this one in here, you know, and just like give it a kind of a mix like this. And once we have done this, now this is the thing, when you're doing 2 colors, don't mix it in that because you'll get all the blue in there. So I just sort of pat it on top like you can see here, because this is going to be, we're going to force it tight, remember, in our hands, because if I do this, all the blue is going to go in there, so you're just going to have a mess here. And then I just use this for something else. We are going to pack it tight like this, and of course this little thing will go together. So you can see it's packed super tight. And now what you can do is give it a bit of a tap on the bench, because, you know, we're going to hold either side. This is not a normal mould. And then we will pull the top off and pray it stays together, which it is staying together. Pull up this bit and there you go. There is our gorgeous, huge macaroon. Doesn't it look sweet? I don't know why my hands are shaking holding that. I'm probably worried that I'm going to drop it. So anyway, we have done the first one. Now let's get and make the next. So you don't need one of those fancy smancy molds or anything. Like I said, this is just a little plastic mold. It's just a kid's toy. Often you can get some really good kids toy molds around. So like I said, just roughly put it to the top, both of them. And then, we're just going to do the white bit, because the white bit's going to make it look like cream in the middle. That's why we wanted this white sort of bit in it. But you could do it one colour if you want to. And you can see it's super packed. So we are just going to literally squish it together. And can you see here the join? And so that's why I want to make sure this joins super good. Like I said, give it a tap. The bit that's here, you can make some extra bath bombs with that. But it's really important not to put it in there, because if you can see here, like all those blue bits mixed, and it would start to make it look ugly. And now can you see how it's pulled away? It just means we don't have enough, so we're just going to put a little bit more in there. Press it again. And that's always a really good example. So let me just pull it apart. And if it starts to come apart like this, I just drop it out and we will just start again. Sometimes you get a few duds when you're doing this, so you can see that's holding up. And now, remember how I said I was worried about this white thing, the white bit? It's fine, but it's definitely not as moist as the other. So anyway, let me just add this little bit that I dropped down here. We'll just put this back in and fix this up. So here you go, everyone. I have totally finished. Don't they look really cute? So now what I'm going to do is leave them sit here for a day just to look a little bit beautiful. I am also going to be going and doing a cocoa top on them. So I'll put that for a separate video so that I don't keep the videos too long. But I will probably put that one out within a day after this one anyway. So basically we just need to let them dry, and then basically the cocoa mix is bicarb and cocoa, and it will go nice and hard. Really adds to a gorgeous bath. And then you can put some sprinkles or something else on top, whatever you want. You can make soap sprinkles as well. There's lots and lots of things that you can do. I will actually make some soap sprinkles to pop on the top, and anyway, I will show you that in the next video. But I hope you have enjoyed it, and I like to keep all the bloopers in when I go, oh no, this isn't working, because I did have some phone calls and a few hassles in between. But I will I promise to put down the recipe down below. You can divide it into half or whatever you like into this recipe. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, my friends. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.